Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with Joe, where you ask your most burning UX questions and I do my best to answer them, give you some advice that you can walk away with and use. Today's question comes from Daniel, who says, I'm part of a UX team of 2 for a large organization, almost 9,000 employees. You're outnumbered, buddy. We're both increasingly disheartened because in most cases we either have no time or the approval to do research and contribute anything of value, or the contributions we do make are ignored and never implemented. Is there any hope of changing this? Have you ever seen a situation like ours turn around? Or should we just cut our losses? Many thanks for any advice you can offer. Well, Daniel, you are most certainly up against it, as I said. And I'll answer the last question first, okay? First of all, yes, I absolutely have seen situations like yours turn around. I won't claim to know the particulars, okay? But understand that you're not alone by any stretch. There are a lot of organizations, mid-size, large, and extremely large, who have unbelievably small UX teams. And in some cases, there's only one person responsible for that work. It happens a lot. Those obstacles are real, they're shared, and I have seen them overcome. And here's how. The fact that you don't have the same resources or political power as a larger UX team doesn't preclude you from delivering value, okay? It really doesn't, from making a valuable contribution and doing it in a way where people, number one, accept it, see its value, and then actually implement it. However, there's a very specific way that you have to go about doing that, okay? And the key lies in taking on fewer issues, first of all, okay? And taking on smaller, bite-sized, or less issues during the course of a project. What that does is it provides an equally small number of changes to the development team as they move along. What you're trying to do is you want to make sure you're not stopping traffic anywhere, because the minute that happens, or the minute anyone gets the sense that, oh my God, this is so much stuff, we're never going to be able to do it all, put it on the backlog, all right? Because that's what happens. And it goes to the backlog and it lives there and it stays there, as I'm sure you know. So the key is smaller number of issues, bite-sized things to implement. These have to be things that have major impact on product success. And there's only one way to interpret product success or project success for your organization, and that is they're either making money or they're saving it. Okay, there has to be some tangible business gain attached to every one of these tiny things that you decide to tackle. And you have to do those first, because if you don't do something impactful right away, you're not going to get the chance later. Okay, they're gonna give you a little rope, you're going to take it, and you got to come back with something that matters. All right, so I understand it's a tall order, but it can be done. What you're looking for are small, tactical, iterative user research activities that you can do throughout the course of the project, and that's important. Not just at the beginning, at a sprint 0 or something like that, or in the first couple sprints to get ahead of development, or at the end, prior to launch when you're doing user testing because, hey, we're doing QA anyway, so yeah, you guys, go and do some user testing. It has to be continuous, and it has to happen as work is progressing, okay, so that you have the opportunities to suggest things as they come up, all right? So if the dev team starts wide and shallow, right, you start wide and shallow. As they get more narrow, you're looking at the same things they are. So tiny little things. If you're looking at a form, for example, you're not going to redesign the whole thing. Look for one thing, one attribute that may be preventing somebody from completing it. It could be the way information is chopped up. It could be the alignment of the fields. It could be the size of the button, the contrast of the button from the button in the background, where it's placed. Small things, okay? These are the types of things that you're looking for to get a quick win. In that case, it's a form, right? So maybe you do that, roll it out in user testing, and wow, like 50% more people actually complete the form and go through the process. That's a win. That's something that says to the people that hold the power, this is worth doing, okay? It's worth changing, and when that happens, they'll think, all right, what else could we have these guys look at? And they may ask you, do you see anything else like this that we might be able to improve? Okay, it changes people's people's mindsets. But the key is it's got to be small things, okay? These are small wins that don't take very much time for developers to implement. I keep saying that, but it's really the key. Things that are easy to do now and easy to change later, all right, if something changes, because that matters equally well. And these are also things that hopefully are very easy for you to test with no time. So in other words, we'll go back to our form example. You're not going to test, a 6-page form and have everybody go through every field to make sure validation is what it should be. But you test one part of the form, the very first set, okay, of information. They go through this. Do they click next or do they not click next? And that's it. That's the sum total of what you're focusing on. Okay, got me? I think I'm hammering this probably more than I should, but it's what I do. If you focus your efforts on the areas that are going to get the attention, okay, of stakeholders or your clients or whoever, especially those people who have the most to gain or lose if the project fails, that's where you're going to get some impact. Follow the money. Okay, I can't say that enough. So think small, follow the money. If you're able to demonstrate value through a small series of impactful wins, it gets easier as time goes on. Your respect, the degree to which people are willing to listen to you will change as a result. And it'll change without you having to argue all the time about doing this work, because they'll see how easy it is to do that. Nobody, was caused any great pain in that happening, and they're going to be a lot more receptive to it in the future, okay? Keep fighting the good fight, and until then, give good UX.